It's Tuesday, January 21st, and this is now on HNN.
They put their life on the line, and so we wanted to honor them today.
We're learning more about the chaos that unfolded on Hibiscus Drive on Sunday as tributes for the fallen officers continue to pour in.
We in government owe it to every working family to give this our best shot.
Plus, Governor Ige delivers his annual State of the State address.
This is the fair roadmap for our trial.
The McConnell resolution will result in a rushed trial with little evidence.
I'm Natalie Brand on Capitol Hill, where the president's impeachment trial begins with a fight over the rules.
The outfit, Lizzo, right here, please.
These stories, and we'll hear from some of music's biggest stars ahead of the Grammy Awards, coming up on This Is Now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan alongside Ashley here. We got some new details on the tragedy at Diamond Head to get to right off the top of the show today.
So Hawaii News Now just learned that a police cadaver dog has led investigators to human remains at the scene of Sunday's shooting and fires in the Diamond Head area. Now, authorities have been searching for the suspect and his landlord, but it's too early to know whose remains were found this morning. Authorities believe the suspect, 69-year-old Jerry Hanel, is dead. He is accused of shooting and killing 2 Honolulu police officers, then starting a massive fire that destroyed 5 homes and damaged others. Another woman, Lois Kane, is also still missing. She owned the home on Hibiscus Drive where the shooting occurred and was the suspect's landlord. Police say a second woman who was reportedly missing has previously been missing has been found safe. Meanwhile, a woman who was stabbed during Sunday's violent rampage was released from the hospital yesterday. She was initially listed in serious condition. Now, investigators are still piecing together the frightening sequence of events leading up to the violent rampage.
And they just said, we know you want to know when, we don't know when. We're investigating now, and we're looking through the debris and trying to see what we can find. They let me come in, they escorted me in, I took a shower and got some clothes and things.
Longtime neighbors like Tim Reed, who found themselves in the middle of all the chaos, are still shaken, emotional, and in disbelief of what unfolded in their close-knit community.
I mean, it looks like a war-torn neighborhood. It looks like things you see on TV that are just annihilated.
With the area still on lockdown for the investigation, residents were seen carrying out their belongings in suitcases, boxes, and trash bags. Stuart Coleman, who lives across the street from the scene, says they chose to leave last night because the area reeked of smoke.
The power was off, and so we were kind of just stuck in the house, and we knew it would be a long time. So they said, once you leave, you can't come back in. So we just said, we need to get out of this. It's just smoke everywhere.
Coleman says it was horrifying watching the massive fire consume his neighbors' homes.
We had a vantage point of the fires, and we saw the fire was going from the house where it all started to the next house, and it was moving up the street. So we were really concerned at that point and telling, the police and the SWAT guys, please let the fire trucks in. The fire could do more damage than this guy ever could.
HFD and HPD say police told firefighters to hang back for their own safety until the threat of the gunman was over. Meanwhile, residents are wondering what more could have been done to prevent this tragedy.
This was somebody that was in our neighborhood and part of our group and just slowly slipped into mental illness. And it was obvious to everybody, and everybody sought help, but it just really wasn't there.
All right, guys, I wanted to show you something really quick. We have this satellite imagery that our web teams put together. It really shows you the before and after of the devastation there at Diamond Head. Now take a look at this. This is that neighborhood before Sunday's events. You see that row of historic houses there, multi-million-dollar homes. Now look at this. This is what it looks like now, just completely leveled there. At least 5 homes, at least 5 more have smoke and water damage. You can just see it looks like a bomb went off there. It really does. But as we all know what happened, that fire really devastated that neighborhood. And it's going to continue to be devastated for some time to come. All right, we got some news on the memorials that are taking shape, right?
Right, so a vigil is planned tonight for one of the fallen HPD officers. Lacey Denise has the details.
Happening tonight, the community will be gathering for a candlelit vigil honoring Officer Tiffany Enriquez. She and Officer Kalike Kalama were shot and killed by 69-year-old Jerry Haynol on Sunday. Kalama leaves behind a wife and son. He was a McKinley High School graduate. Enriquez was originally from Guam and graduated from high school there in 1999 before moving to Hawaii. She leaves behind 3 daughters and 1 grandson. Meanwhile, tributes are pouring in from near and far for the 2 Honolulu police officers. After hearing about the violent rampage at Diamond Head, Philadelphia-based artist Johnny Castro, who specializes in forensic composite portraits, created portraits of officers Tiffany Enriquez and Kalike Kalama. In the pieces, Enriquez and Kalama are shown wearing lei over their HPD uniforms. In a Facebook post, Castro said, quote, "The reason behind painting portraits of these fallen heroes is to try and share who these officers were in life before they were taken from us."
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven?
That's Maui police officer Marvin Tevanga singing a moving rendition of Tears in Heaven to pay tribute and also help others express their grief.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven?
And Hawaii musician Josh Tolfi also sang his own version of Tears in Heaven, which he posted on his Instagram page saying, quote, "My heart is sore for the families that lost their loved ones in yesterday's shooting. May God heal your pain."
All right, thank you, Lacey, for that report. You know, SHOPO is going to hold a press conference coming up in about 20 minutes. We're going to take that live here on Facebook. So as soon as this stream ends, we'll have another one up as soon as it gets underway. We're expecting it to start around 12:30. We have a team of reporters on this story working all the angles. We'll have the latest on that coming up at 5 and 6 on HNN. Also on digital right now, if you go to our website, our app, even on this Facebook page, premiered yesterday, we had a digital documentary that sort of just chronicles everything that happened with the tragedy at Diamond Head. It's also made some news there at the State Address this morning, right?
That's right. So Governor Ige delivered his 6th State of the State address. It began with a moment of silence for the fallen officers, and Police Chief Susan Ballard also had a standing ovation when she was introduced to the crowd. Now, in his speech, Ige focused on proposals aimed at easing Hawaii's high cost of living.
The first thing we agreed to do was to put more money into pockets of working people. But how do you increase wages without increasing the cost of living? The two are joined at the hip. Clearly, increasing the minimum wage alone would not do it. But a modest increase, phased over time, combined with targeted tax relief right now, could result in an annual cash benefit of $4,400 to each worker. We believe we have hit the sweet spot that will make a difference for our working families.
All right, we got to get the latest on the impeachment news now.
So the first phase of President Trump's impeachment trial is underway in the Senate with arguments over the rules for the process. Here's Natalie Brand.
And Mr. Cipollone,
House managers and the White House legal team sat at opposing black tables on the Senate floor as they began debate on the organizing resolution that will set the rules for President Trump's impeachment trial.
A partisan impeachment is like stealing an election.
Witnesses will tell their stories in books and film. The truth will come out.
The resolution will now allow each side up to 3 days to present 24 hours of opening arguments after pushback from moderate Republicans. That will be followed by 16 hours of questioning by senators. Only then can they debate and vote on whether to have witnesses. The House impeachment record will also now automatically be admitted into the evidence.
This is the fair roadmap for our trial.
The McConnell resolution will result in a rushed trial with little evidence in the dark of night.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer will offer amendments requiring witnesses and documents at the outset of the trial, despite the majority leader's threat to table them.
The president's defense team in a legal brief argued both articles, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, are not impeachable and accused Democrats of, quote, a dangerous perversion of the Constitution.
President Trump weighed in on impeachment while meeting with world leaders in Davos, Switzerland.
That whole thing is a total hoax. So I'm sure it's going to work out fine.
Opening arguments are expected to begin Wednesday afternoon. Senators will leave their electronics in this cabinet and sit silently during the marathon trial proceedings. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
To health news now, the U.S. has its first case of a new virus that was found only last month in China. Health officials say the American returned to Seattle in the middle of last week after traveling to Western China, where the outbreak began. The man is in his 30s and is in good condition at the hospital. He is not considered a threat to medical staff or the public. Now, officials say the Chinese coronavirus is a cousin of the SARS virus and has infected more than 200 people in China so far. It's believed the virus started in an animal and spread to humans, and the symptoms are similar to the common cold, but for those with a weakened immune system, it could be much more serious, causing pneumonia and bronchitis.
We're going to take you live outside from our vantage point here at the Digital Center. What a difference a few days can make. Look at that. Way more the majority out there is blue skies than clouds. Let's get an update on what the weather's going to be like along with your surf. Here's Billy V.
Surf forecast for you, 6 to 10. That is on the way down. That's a swell that's eventually kind of winding down, but there's another swell that's going to be coming in tonight. That's going to go peak tomorrow, which means that that's going to be advisory level surf tomorrow as we go into the second half of the week. And they're saying that that could be warning level size, so we'll watch for that. East facing shores on the way down. That's because of the slower winds, no longer a trade wind swell. West side 3 to 6, town spots are 1 to 2. So as we get into the 7-day forecast, take a look here. Once again, today we're losing the trade winds. It's going to be light winds tomorrow through Friday. We'll get some weak trade winds, but no real trades until we get into Monday. Lots of sunshine if we get some sprinkles, interior sections and Mocha sections of all the islands.
All right, let's get your royal update of the day.
With all the chaos surrounding Britain's royal family, a royal source says lawyers for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have issued a warning to the media over the use of paparazzi photos. Now, some media outlets published photos of Meghan and baby Archie while they were in the woods in Canada. The lawyers claim the photos were taken without their consent and accused the paparazzi of harassment.
You gotta feel for those royals though. They have just taken such scrutiny from the tabloids his whole life since he was the same age as baby Archie. Well, hopefully they'll get out of the spotlight like they're wanting. We'll see how that all develops. I don't think it's going to happen that way, guys, so unfortunately. More entertainment news. Let's get over one of my favorite topics, Lizzo.
That's right. As music's biggest stars get ready for this Sunday's 62nd annual Grammy Awards here on CBS, several of them were kind enough to take the time out to meet with Gayle King, including this year's most nominated artist, Lizzo.
The outfit, Lizzo, right here, please, on the right.
She was 2019's breakout star, earning 8 Grammy nominations and being named Time Magazine's Entertainer of the Year, joining the ranks of artists with just one name monikers.
What's your name on your birth certificate?
My name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson. Lizzo happened in middle school. Me and my friends, we all had this thing where we would just put O on the end of our names.
Oh.
So, you know, it's Lexo, it's Nino, you know what I'm saying? You'd be Gaylo. So I just went by Lizzo.
Gayle King sat down with a singer-rapper and classically trained flute player for her Grammy special, airing later this week. Also featured Billie Eilish, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Lil Nas X, and the Jonas Brothers.
We asked them to allow us access that you normally don't see. And, you know, knock on wood, all of them said, okay.
Many of the artists Gayle chats with will also be performing at Sunday's Grammy Awards here in Los Angeles, including Lizzo, who couldn't help breaking into song during her interview.
If he don't love you anymore, walk your fine out the door. That's where that comes from.
I do my
head sauce, check my nails. I'm like, listen, if you don't want me around, I will not be here, and that is fine. And that's a toast to that.
Demi Lovato and Ariana Grande are among the other artists also scheduled to perform at the Grammys. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Cannot say it enough. I love me some Lizzo, Asho.
So you'd be Jono.
Fuck 'em, Jono. Dano.
That's different.
Grammys this Sunday, guys. You don't want to miss out. We're taking a live look outside to end this newscast. Hopefully it's going to stay that way. Beautiful out there. Take some time to enjoy it, folks. We'll be back here tomorrow. Again, we have a press conference coming up here in like 15 minutes from Shopo regarding the tragedy at Diamond Head. We'll bring that to you live on Facebook and our digital platforms.